What's up, everybody? This is DatGuy252, and this is a special edition of my Sportscast podcast. I am in the process of bringing my guest here in just a few moments, and I'm doing that now. As soon as I get him invited, we are going to rock this party. My guest is none other than the one, the only, never duplicated, often imitated. He is Ashton Spears. And I just sent him the invite link, so he'll be on in just a few moments. Just wanted to make a little mention real quick that tonight is going to be an awesome show. It's going to be an awesome show, and this is one of my favorite independent wrestlers, and I've gotten to know him on a more personal level than just as a wrestler, and his story is just powerful. And as soon as I get him up here, you're in for a treat. And here we go. Add to stream. What's up, brother? The one, the only, Spears.
What's how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. How about you, my friend?
Man, my hair looks wonderful. That's all I'm kind of worried about. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can one day grow up to be a little trademark, because that's all parts. My little trademarkers. You could grow up just like me. I hope not. Really, seriously, don't be anything like me.
Yeah, I'm happy that I got it hardwired with Ethernet cord, because my past few interviews, I've been getting kicked off of my own Wi-Fi, so I'm hardwired, so that won't be an issue tonight.
Awesome, bro. Awesome.
But let's get up down to the nitty gritty. Before we get on with telling your story, how about not for me, but for those who may not know the story of how you got into wrestling, and just do a little introduction.
Ashton Spears. I've been in the business way too long. About 2003 or 4, I can't remember which it was. I was a DJ at a club called Graham Central Station in Lafayette, and I met a wrestler who was doing local wrestling shows. So I became a publicity stunt. I was really good on the microphone, which is, you can't believe that, right? So basically, I was a publicity stunt going wrong because they wanted to get rid of me and they just couldn't do that. I've been very fortunate in my career. I've wrestled Shane Douglas, John Heidenreich, Simon Koch, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, One Man Gang. I mean, I got really, really, really lucky to Road Dog Jesse James. I don't know if he was there for it. Like me and Chris Black had a program with him and Bullet Bob Armstrong.
That was my first show back.
Idol was Shawn Mike. You know, I mean, I got really lucky, and I parlayed halfway decent wrestling career, not doing the right thing or in my right state of mind. So I kind of, now that I'm slowly coming back, taking things very slow, and I'm trying to it's like this. Everybody always says, how do you want to go out? I didn't want people to remember that part of it. I wanted people to remember, man, he was a great entertainer, because that's all I really care about. I care less what the boys say or the dirt sheets, 5-star matches. I'm not into that. I care, and I think you come to the shows with me on it. All I cared about was, did the fans get their money's worth? Like, did watching me pay the ticket? And especially when y'all saw Bulletproof, I think we did. By 4, we did, because, I mean, I always said, yes, I don't care whether there's 5 or 500 or 5,000. If there's 5 people in there, I'm going to even go harder, because them 5 people can tell 5 more people, I've just been very fortunate,
No doubt about it.
But besides that, bro, like, I mean, I'm very open about it, and a lot of the reason why I agreed to this was because if I can, somebody who's dealing with demons, be it drugs, alcohol, or anything, hopefully they'll understand that there is a way out, and if one person watches this and goes, well, if this total screwed up dude can get help, anybody can, and I'm just proud, take one day at a time. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Maybe not. You never know. You never know where I'm going to pop up, kind of like COVID. You never know when I'm going to attack.
Negative. So. No, never mind.
I'll have another joke too. I'm trying to keep it G-rated for the G-rated,
It's all good, bro. It could be PG-13.
Well, I don't know if Vince is pushing the envelope now, so you never know. Underground fight league, Wow, who didn't think of that,
I know, right?
But,
oh no, yeah. Thanks for the introduction. Hey, hold on. I have to leave the studio. Don't leave.
I'm just live here, so we're streaming live. I'm gonna talk.
There you go. I'm back. I disconnected my Ethernet cord accidentally.
I'm too old to be young and too young to be old. You know what I'm saying? Sucks.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I think I'll see my content.
When you started in wrestling, how'd you come up with Ashton Spears?
Oh, wow, the boys are gonna have fun with it. I'm a big Marilyn Manson fan, and I always thought it was really cool how Marilyn Manson took, Marilyn and like PhD said here early 2000s. Britney Spears. That's how much fun. Like, unfortunately, 20 years later, the Britney Spears chance I get. Yeah, I didn't put too much thought into that, but that's literally how I got it as a joke,
Hey, sometimes the best things happen by accident. So, what is, I'm trying to think. There was one question I had on my mind. I kind of had a brain fart. I was going to ask, when you got into the business, how old were you and what was your driving force getting into the business?
I started late. I was 26, I think. 26, yeah. Man, I was 10 years old. This is a true story. 1986. I'm aging myself, and I had a 12-inch black and white TV in my room, and that was good back then. Back then, if you had a 12-inch TV, you were like, yeah,
big screen, baby.
I was an Atlanta Brave fan.
Me too. I'm a Brave fan.
Brave fan, bro. Religious. So after most of the time on Saturdays, the NWA would come on. So I remember I was picking up my baseball cards because I was a nerd for the Atlanta Braves. I'd pull out their start lineup and write their stats down.
Nice.
And I saw Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen come on. And Ric Flair had all these chicks, and they had all the gold, and they were wearing $1,000 bracelets. And I literally don't think I ever picked up an Atlanta Brave card ever again. I was just hooked, bro. And I think that's what keeps driving me back is I'm still, even though I'm a wrestler, I'm still a fan. I still watch wrestling. I still want to get caught up in the believability. I want to remember what it was like to not, know that about kayfabe. I still try to lose the disbelief. I try to really get into it, and that's what really keeps me back. Like being a wrestler for so long was a dream that pretty much turned into my own self nightmare, but it's still a dream, man. I've wrestled Shane Douglas in hardcore matches, and I still get nervous when I wrestle at Tiny Tiswell show. I still get nervous. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? I'm getting on this microphone. I have nothing. And all of a sudden the music hits and the butterflies go. And once once I start yelling and screaming, I'm live. And a lot of times being live is bad because you never know what the hell I'm going to say. But I mean, it could go either way,
Yeah, Wayne Miller said, "What's up, bro?"
What's up, Wayne? Just chilling, man. Just got back from work and stuff like that, bro. Getting back in shape, and I'm gonna pop up somewhere. I don't know where at, but I'll pop up. Like the COVID virus, Wayne. You can't dodge me.
Yeah, you were mentioning Atlanta Braves. I'm actually watching Braves and Yankees right now. It's tied 2-2.
I'll be real. I haven't seen a Brave game probably since Terry Pendleton was playing his third base for him.
You are old, bro. You're old.
Yeah, what about best friends is beautiful Bobby? Shout out Bobby. And he's a diehard Astro fan. Like, he actually will like stop doing what he's doing to see the Astros. And I always clown him because I have absolutely no idea if the Braves are good or not. I'm like, my Braves are better. He looked at me, goes, "You realize y'all suck now, right?" I'm like, "Oh,
they're good now."
Oh, we're good again? I might have to start watching them,
Yeah, we're good again. We got a lot of youngsters playing, but with this COVID season, injuries are starting to pile up. Our bullpen is good, our offense is good, but our starting rotation is trash.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm worried about college football because
Me too.
Unfortunately I'm from New Orleans, but I'm a diehard USC Trojan fan, SoCal, and with Pac-12 pulling out I think the Big Ten pulled out, or the big whatever they call themselves now. I don't think we're gonna have too much sports, bro. It's an interesting time to live right now because
it is.
In my 40s, I would have never pictured a time ever when like we might not have a Super Bowl. Think about that.
Yeah, that'd suck. That'd suck.
We might not have a football season, a college football season. We're really one outbreak of COVID away from Indian Major League Baseball. These are like billion-dollar industry. Think about it. WrestleMania was pre-taped. Think about the age we're living in. I mean, it's shocking to see all of this happening. I never thought I would have seen it in my lifetime, but I mean, it is what it is. There are still wrestling shows are coming out, and we're actually in Louisiana working on something right now where we're going to kind of do what WWE did, maybe like tape the matches with no fans and put it on YouTube just to, people don't realize, man, as much as y'all love seeing us, we love entertaining y'all. We really do. Like I have done pretty much everything a human being could do right and wrong in your life. And the biggest rush, dude, is being a good guy or a bad guy. Like, if they're cheering for me, cool. If they're booing me, I don't care. I'd rather them boo me, though. I love to be hated. I'm not gonna lie.
As a fan, I'm a heel myself.
I remember the first time I met you, you had the AEW shirt, and I walked up to you, and you said something. I was like, "Shut up, you mark." And you just looked at me like, "I like you." I'm like, "What the? Okay." It was a beautiful romance.
Beginning of a beautiful friendship.
It turned romantic when he broke up with you. I'm really proud of that bulletproof tag team we had. I mean, of course, I was the better of the two. I mean, always going to be better than him. But, I mean, I proved that when I need him in his face, and we're chanting, "You suck." But who really sucks now, huh? Hindsight being 2020.
How do you like me now? Toby Keith.
Look at me now, huh?
But no, yeah, that's a good segue. I was actually going. That's the next question I was going to ask. The elephant in the room, so to speak. That night we were right there, and you and Hannibal were just the hottest tag team going. And then when you turned on Hannibal, it shocked a lot of people. It kind of shocked me, but even though you did that, I still rooted for you.
Well, it's like this, bro. I mean, I've known Hannibal a long time, and it's like this, you got to have a star of a show. And, I was in a weird place in my life, and, everybody really liked him. Not too many people really liked me. So, I got to know some fans, and, it's cool. I took pictures with the kids, but then something happened when it became, I'm in the ring and Hannibal's back there kissing babies and shaking hands and taking the spotlight off the superstar. Look, when Brad Pitt's in a movie, you go to see Brad Pitt. You don't go see the other guy. And in Bulletproof, That's what Hannibal was. He was the other guy. You know, I mean, hey, you got to accept your role in life. Acceptance is a key. And he has to accept that it don't matter how much bigger he is or smarter or stronger. There's one thing you can't game plan for, and that's crazy. And I just happen to be half nuts, and I can admit that.
Yeah, you gotta kind of be half nuts.
I mean, you don't go axe and get street fights with the Black Dynasty and get hit in the head with stop signs because you're normal. I'm sorry, if normal people could do what I would do, you would be in the wrestling ring. And unfortunately for both of us, Chris, you can't feel my boots. They're size 10, and nobody can, okay? You can pull out the best. Tiny Tiswell, he's a midget. He's about as much of a midget as I am Shane Douglas, okay? His son, yeah, he's not as good as me either. There's only one person who is as good as me, and that's my shadow, and even he's behind me. You understand me?
Nice, exactly. When you first got into the ring, from a physical standpoint, what style did you, when you began your wrestling career, what style did you aim for in the beginning?
Shawn Michaels. I swear to God, bro, I still throw the prettiest super kick in the world. I mean, bro, I think I came in a weird time in the business where the curtain was just starting to get pulled back. So I was too new to be old school, but I wasn't old enough to be new school. So I always called myself kind of like that persona I used to do, the bastard child of pro wrestling, because it's true. It's like I wanted to be Shawn, and then I was like, oh man, I didn't watch ECW when it was happening. I saw ECW after it folded because where I lived at, all my friends were like, we were huge WCW marks. I didn't watch WWE till DX. Like, yeah, all the time, Wolfpack, baby. I mean, all the way. And when I saw ECW, I was like, oh my God! I saw Shane Douglas, who became one of my heroes, and I wrestled him 6 times, and I saw Sabu, and I saw the violence, and I was like, I want to be them. And then all of a sudden, when you get longer in your career, you start seeing, like some of my inspirations, Moxley. Before he went to WWE, when he was doing in CZW, I saw Punk both in Ring of Honor and IWA Mid-South, and I started trading tapes. So I went from, I would say, a sports entertainer, like strictly entertaining, to all of a sudden I wanted to do this. I wanted to be, and Chris Black, as much as I hate to put him over, I don't know. I love Chris. Me and him got this love hate. We've been to Black. We've broken up so many times. It feels like me and my ex-wife, okay? It's just like, I met him, so I wanted to be this great in-ring worker like him, and I learned all this stuff. But then I was like, why am I having these 5-star matches, but yet I'm not getting the heat as when I would walk out there and just be me? And I think that's what I've become. I learned that, I think me and you discussed this. I don't care if the boys like the way I wrestle or the promoter does. I only care about the reaction I get. And you've been at several of my shows. I'm always going to get a reaction.
Yes, for sure.
That I don't care if you were cheering me or booing me. You're going to react to what I do. And I think that's the style of wrestling I became. I became just, when you get old enough and you realize, okay, I'm never going to WWE. They're never going to take a 160-pound wrestler. There wasn't an AEW, unfortunately for me, so I knew I wasn't going to make it big. So you start going, what's my legacy going to be? And that's when I became more of the entertainer. That's when the whole reason why I want to come back is because I believe that you have to put a stamp on your legacy. If Shawn Michaels should have never came back with Triple H in that last match with Undertaker, because that's what you remember. You remember googly-eyed, bald-headed Shawn. You don't want to remember. I want to remember Shawn slapping Taker and flipping him off and doing the DX shot. I don't want people to remember being in Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, all the places I've wrestled. I don't want them to remember that Ashton, who sometimes he was in the right state of mind, sometimes he wasn't. I have a son who now is old enough to understand, like, my daddy lived his dream, and I want him to be able to come to the show now, and it has something to do with respect. I want people to go, he's pretty good, and I don't care if it's boys, but if it's the fans, it's a plus to me. Like I said, love me or hate me, I'm gonna make sure you remember at least who I am. You know.
Exactly, and that's a good way to be, regardless of what step you are in your career. I can remember back in March when Road Dogg was there, and you were saying, I actually started a little Guido chant for you.
I might not be able to say anything. I can, yeah, block that out. We're live. You don't know what I'm gonna say. I'll never forget, bro, because I got a phone call from somebody, and they go, "Road Dogg Jesse James is here." I go, man, and I can't say the explicits I told him, but I basically told him, if Road Dogg Jesse James is, I will do sexual favors. Okay, that's bull crap. He's not there. Right when I open the door, here comes Chris. Hey, I want you to be live. I'm like, and it was cool because I'm still a wrestling fan. I am a humongous DX mark. I got to like do a segment with him and be a part of his fall. That was a legend. His last match ever. That says something, you know. That says something to the effect that, you know, I'm still the 10-year-old guy, well, boy back then, who turned on that 12-inch black and white TV. We saw the Four Horsemen, and you fast forward. I met Shawn Michaels. I met Road Dogg Jesse James. I met like 2 out of the 5 DX guys, and like one of them I did a segment with, and it's like,
I remember that.
You forget. You know, he told me, what happened? You put your ankle monitor under your kick pads? I was like, oh, God. I'll be like, oh, you didn't know DX died long ago. You know, I was like, it was cool, man. I got very fortunate in my career to do some of those things, you know.
Yeah, outside the ring, this is part of the reason why I was hoping you would be okay with doing this interview. And you could go as deep or as not as deep as you want. When you stepped out of the business for a while, and you said you were not the right state of mind, it's up to you, no pressure. But what caused the, I don't want to say downfall, but what caused the triggering of that, and then what builds you back up to start this?
I'll say that I'll go in detail. I'll of course leave some super personal stuff out, but you know,
Yeah, that's cool.
There comes a time when in your life, you know, I come from the '90s with Kurt Cobain and Lane Staley, and you know, the use of drugs was glamorized, you know, so it was nothing for us to go party and then go do what we do. But sooner or later, you know, there was no more real life. It was Ashton Spears 24/7. So here I am now. You know, I find myself in my mid-30s, and it's no longer about partying because it becomes delight. Like it literally becomes your lifestyle. You know, where when people thought you were loaded, you're sober, and when you're sober, you're loaded. Like that's how bad it was. And you know, losing the wife wasn't good enough. You know, one of my best friends literally got me kicked out the business to straighten me up. That wasn't enough, you know. And you know, anybody who knows me and see me with my son knows how much I love my son. That wasn't enough, you know. It. I went to rehab. I mean, October 16th. Crisis, if you watch this, I love you, brother. He's Hannibal's replacement in Bulletproof. Bet you don't like that, huh, Mark? No, but you know, he was then my biggest supporter / enabler because he loves me so much because I got him in the business that he would have let me do anything. And for him to look at me and go, bro, you need to go get help. Like, this is no longer, excuse my language, fucking cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
seriously,
cool.
like, you know, he really looked at me and he said that. And I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, bro. And then I had a promoter in Mississippi who I'm a mainstay in that company, SCW. I told him, I was like, I think I need to go get help. And he goes, well, it's about time. And I went, and it took a while for me to get it all together because I didn't relapse, but it's hard to realize that for so long you you live a certain lifestyle and you get lost in the see wrestlers especially we get lost because it's a lot easier being Ashton Spears than being me. Because all I got to do is all Ashton Spears is me is jacked up to 100, you know? And when you're playing that character for 4 nights a week, and you go home, it's hard to shut off. Because
Yeah.
when I'm in a crowd, when I go to a show, I have all of y'all yelling, yeah, And for me personally, that was the best drug I ever did. I and for a long time I couldn't get them screams out of my head because I had to shut that. I had to shut it off. I had to go, okay, I'm not that guy, and I couldn't. And I went to a great rehabilitation center, and I worked on me. And I swear to God, I was not gonna get back in the wrestling ring. And beautiful Bobby goes, "You're gonna be Terry Funk. You're gonna retire 38 times. You're too good at getting heat, or you're just too good at getting over." I blamed the final step. I think in this growth that I'm going through was I blamed the wrestling business because it was just easily blah. And then I realized no, because I'm the only one like that back there. Everybody else was sober. I'm the only idiot left. And I realized that the worst thing about being in recovery is to recover. Because then you have to look inside and you got to go, I failed. Or you can go, it's not over yet. See, my outlook is there. It's not over yet. If I have one match and that's all I have, as long as I go out there, I perform, I get that reaction I want to get, I'm good with that. If I have another 5-year run, cool. If I never wrestle after my last match, cool. Or I may never wrestle again. Because, yeah, I'm booked at 2 certain places, but you know what? My number one goal out there right now is to help other people. I'll just plain out say it. I'm in AA, bro. I sponsor people. I have a sponsor. I work a program that taught me that if I'm not comfortable with a situation, I probably shouldn't be there. So who's to say I might not get backstage and go, no, I can't do this, and I might not be on the first row with you one day. I don't know, but I know this. I know as it stands today that trying to word this right. Some people can go, like at shows they serve beer. Some people can drink a beer, go home, and not screw their whole life up. Me, on the other hand, when I put anything in me, be it drugs or alcohol, like when you get off of work Friday and want to do it again, I'm still partying from last Friday. And I learned that being an alcoholic / drug addict, whatever you are, if you're in those shoes that I was in, man, this life feels way much better than I ever did. Look, my face is fat, I'm healthy,
You're
and you
looking
know
great.
what? I ain't gotta worry. I ain't gotta worry about what I'm gonna do next. And you know what? There's a lot of people in the wrestling business who I've let down so many times, and they open their doors up to me, and they see the good in me, or they see that I have talent, and they're like, man, if he can only get it together. I don't want to be the guy who, if he could have only got it together. Now, as far as today goes, because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, I got it together, and you know what? People can go get help. You can redeem yourself, and that's what being a good guy or a bad guy, whatever role I have to play, I'll do it. But I want to redeem myself for me, not for anybody. Because shout to the dynasty. I love them guys. I love my boys, Bobby. I love you know, Crisis and all them, but I can't do it for them. I gotta do this for me. And if anybody out there is struggling with anything, man, it is so much easier to get help than it is to to stay on that path, because I know probably 15 people in my age group that are dead now. And you know what? If it might not be cool with the wrestling fans or the boys or anything like that, but I mean, man, like when your best friends are dead and you're still doing the same stuff that led there to their death. And finally, one of my close friends in Gulfport, Mississippi. I'm not gonna say his name because I just don't want to put it out there like that. But he, when I got out of rehab, he took me in and he let me heal. And I'll never forget, I'll never forget him or his wife or his other friend who actually got me there. And he said something, because I remember, bro. I mean, this dude, he's probably one of the strongest men I ever met in my life, because he wakes up early in the morning. He takes care of his 3 kids. He busts his ass, and I'm like, and to me, I'm so messed up. Um, that I'm like, how do you do that? How do you get up at 6 a.m. and come back at 6 a.m.? What the, like, to me, because of the lifestyle, that was like, oh my God. And he said, and I'll never forget it. He goes, Ashton, because, excuse my language again. So if you don't like, I'm just quoting what he said. He said, grow the fuck up. Grow up. Like, exactly. And it hit me. It hit me like, this is somebody who's younger than me, who's my big brother. And it shouldn't be like that. I should be the one who's helping them. And I'll never forget, and I can never appreciate them, because that was kind of like the kicking my butt to get me like really doing this. I was sober for the last 3 months. I have really been super busy, trying to help other people, and that's what it's about. I have a great clique. I'm gonna shout out Kelsey, Lumber Jesus. What's up, George? I promise you one thing: you're watching me, I'm not watching you. You know what I'm saying? So, I got a lot of good support out here. Tevin, who's this big, jacked up black guy who's like a physical trainer, swears to God he can beat me up, but he doesn't know he could beat half my ass if the other half was helping him. Okay, I am that bad. Okay, and I also got to thank you, Chris, because no matter what version of Ashton Spears I was portraying, or what kind of condition I was in life, you and your family and your friends didn't matter. You made a beeline and you came help, because in the long run,
Amen.
We all inhabit the same earth. We all believe in the same God, and we are all human. And I can't promise that I mean, nobody can promise that they'll be sober forever, but I know no matter what happens in my life, that I can always reach out to you. And, you've always treated me with a lot of respect and a lot of, props. And all jokes aside, though, but that's why I've done it for so long. I'd rather literally be in some small flea market in Pensacola, like entertaining 200-300 people, than I think I would in AEW, because the bulletproof thing with y'all was personal. Like, I took pictures with y'all kids and y'all nieces and y'all nephews. It was almost like an intimate relationship. Like I knew when I was getting in the car, because Hannibal drove, because I don't drive, because he's under me. He was my personal driver, And he's so good at that when he sees this. Well, come back and beat me up if you don't like it.
Do it.
Do it. And I appreciate. If I didn't appreciate then what I had, I really appreciate it more now that it's gone. So like I said, bro, I'm kind of like Kobe, and you never know when I'm gonna pop
up. Yeah, and like you said, it's a powerful thing. And like I said, before you got on tonight, I said to the viewers that I've gotten to know you more personal, in depth, versus just as a fan in the ring. And from seeing you then to now, I am very, and I mean this with a humbled heart, I am so proud of you, because I legitimately see the change in the work you're doing. And that's why, whether you're a heel, whether you're a face, whatever the case may be, you always got a fan in me.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot because during that era of the bad times, I promised myself it wouldn't be I always describe addiction to people because my ex-wife couldn't understand. She's like, "Why can't you just quit?" Actually, one of my friends who I partied with just put it down cold turkey. Was like, "I just don't understand." When you're an addict, I picture it as somebody who's dealing with weight problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
You swear to God you're going to go to this store and you're not going to buy ice cream. But every time you go down that ice cream aisle, you end up with 2 gallons of chocolate ice cream. And that's what it was. And, that's the only way I can explain it. And, I'll say this. I'll say that, I definitely don't put religion on anybody. I believe that's personal and private. But my higher power is God. And,
Amen.
I was angry with him for a while, but I'm not. Me and him's cool now. Like, he answers the phone, I call him, we talk, and all jokes aside, man, like, you literally have no idea. If somebody needs proof of God, look at me. Because I weigh 180 pounds.
And me.
I'm healthy. I'm in the right mind frame, I only dropped 2 F-bombs, which, was pretty good for me, and you know what? I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be sober. And you know what? Anytime you ever need a guest or something, let me know. If I can't personally do it, I'll call somebody else. And actually, I'm thinking about starting my own podcast. I was gonna talk to you later. That more of a it'll have wrestling in it, but I'm also writing a book. A lot of people don't realize that I actually went to college. And I have almost an English degree, but unfortunately, I got my ex-wife pregnant, and I have to be a man and take care of the kid and everything. But it's called Wrestling and Addiction, Chasing a Dream, Living a Nightmare, Wrestling and Addiction, the Ashton Spears story. And I actually have other interests. Yeah, and I don't care. Like, I'm like, it's how about halfway finished, and I'm emailing it, and they got AA people who will publish it. I don't want $1 from it. I don't want no publicity off of this, man. Like I said, I've definitely come in here as long as you told me I can pretty much say what I want. As long as one person out there, they're struggling with anything, man, look, Google rehabilitation centers, detox centers. Man, I don't care if it's alcohol, drugs, sex, food, anything that's controlling your life that makes you not a good person, go get help for that, bro. Because if you would have told me October 16th, my life would be this good. Like, people answer my phone calls now. People are genuinely happy to see me, And I still have to make some amends, which means I have to, make up some mistakes I made. But, God forgave me. I can't make everybody forgive me.
Exactly.
That's how I look at it.
It's up to them.
Right. Like me and you talk about my redemption.
Yes.
I could want to redeem myself all I want. But the only person I really got to not impress, but have something to prove is God. God and that's just where I'm at in my life. All jokes aside, I'm like, I am happy for the first time in a long time.
That's good. That's really good.
In a good place, and if any of your fans, I don't know if people are like streaming it with you, I don't know if you can tell, but if they have any questions or if they email you with questions and you get a good thing, I'll come back. If not, I'll come back anyway because you can't get rid of me, kind of like COVID.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. See, this was kind of last minute, but yeah, I put in a little chat thing in here, any questions, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of questions. So in a follow-up after this one, we'll definitely do some questions there. But like you were saying, on a personal note, I can understand sort of kind of where you're coming from, because I drank, and I lost my brother in 2011 and then my dad in 2013. And I traveled down that road that you traveled down. Thank the Lord, it's over with. It's in the past, and it's like you said, God, He's the one, and all joking aside, God's the one who will reach down and pull you out from wherever you're at. And without him, I wouldn't be here today just doing this. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met anybody really. It's just one of them things that he is the reason, and it's no more simpler than that.
What's up, Joshua Meredith?
That's Sally Ann's dad.
Oh, what's up, bro? I'm like this, bro. I'm not gonna try to push any of my beliefs on anybody because I don't care.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I don't care if you believe in the TV. If that makes you a better person, hey, let that be or whatever. I just choose to be different. I believe that. We all have this. It's all already written. What's gonna happen? I don't believe God doesn't put you anywhere where you're not supposed to be.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to be exactly where I'm at now. And if I don't make all the mistakes and really piss everybody off, or I don't do anything that I've done, I might not be where I'm at. And where I'm at's a good place. Where I'm at's a great father now. A great friend. I can be a great brother to my sister. I can, be a good boyfriend. Which she's gonna be so upset if she walks in when you're having a podcast. Hey fans, I'm really gonna flash the camera on her. She's probably gonna punch me. I'm gonna run away, but it's only because you know what? She works out way more than I do.
and then the most important thing, you got your son, and being a role model and father for him, and I'm pretty sure he's proud of you.
Yeah, man. I don't think he's way too young to understand. He understood that daddy went to a hospital, but I'm not gonna hide nothing from him. Just one thing about me, I've always been transparent. My friends, with wrestling fans, with everybody. I don't lie about my demons because I believe that if I didn't make that mistake, I wouldn't have learned. A regret is only a mistake you haven't learned from, and I learned not to regret nothing. If when he's old enough to understand, I'll explain to him. Yeah, you shouldn't do this because of these reactions. The one thing I will say about the program I work is that it's accountability. For the first time, people are counting on me. I have people, I had to learn and retrain myself that, if I relapse or if I make a mistake, it affects this person, this person, this person, this person. And then that affects them. When you're lost in addiction, the only thing you're worried about is you. You're so selfish because really it is a selfish addiction. It's a selfish trait because you're so worried about, oh, I don't want to feel this. Oh, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel this. That you forget that, for instance, I was married to the woman who had my son. My problems affected her, my son, her mom and dad, her brother and sister. I really only have a sister that's still around. I affected her. I affected my grandparents. You don't see the whole 360 of something. It's only very self. And I'm just happy that I made the other side of it. And like I said earlier, if I wrestle once, twice, zero, it doesn't matter to me. You know why? Because in the long run, how many people who were 10 years old watching, or even today watching whoever's popular in WWE now, I haven't watched a product in a couple of months, or AEW with my boy Moxley and Cody. I did what they're doing now. I am still, like I said, I'm a 10-year-old who saw Ric Flair. I got to actually wrestle. I learned how to wrestle. One of my best friends is John Heidenreich. Dude, I lived a dream. It just, my eye turned it into a nightmare in the end. And hey, bro, if Mike Tyson can come back and fight Roy Jones Jr., I think I got one more good fight in me, brother.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 maybe. But no, yeah, you bring up a good point. What the demon thing, we all have our demons. I fought my demons, and And the thing is I used to hide them. Well, once I quit hiding them and like you said, transparent. Once I became transparent, the road to healing, the road to recovery, and then the road to redemption began. And the reason why I bring that up is as you've been working out these past few months, not just from a getting in shape thing, physical aspect, but from a mental and life aspect, what is your goal going forward on your road to redemption from all aspects?
Personally, I would I'm going to this is really gonna break kayfabe. I don't care. I'm going to college right now for addiction counseling. Um, I'm actually very close to the rehabilitation center that I went to. I'm still close with about 7 or 8 people who work there. I'm actually got offered by the guy in charge to go back into the thing and tell him my story, tell him how the
Awesome.
program saved me, and I'd like to personally I led such a crazy life that the common piece of this is really awesome. Like I'm literally sitting in my 3-bedroom condo by myself, like just happy. And I keep using that word happy because for addiction, you're not happy. Anybody who's fighting it, like I might go to rehab, go to freaking rehab. You're not happy because anybody who's putting that stuff in them is not happy. You're covering something. You're filling a hole you can't, and it's never going to get filled. Trust me, I've drank enough. I did enough illegal narcotics. It didn't feel anything. All it did was just band-aid. And sooner or later, band-aid wears off. Sooner or later, the patch in the tire explodes. And I'm just glad that I'm at a point in my life now where, you know, I'm not dead. I don't have any diseases. Um, pretty much, I'm pretty damn healthy for somebody who didn't take care of themselves for 20 years. And now I can spend the second part of my life. I'll never be the guy who can walk into a church and say a sermon. I know that about me, even though I believe the same things they are, because I don't know a way to beat around the bush or say politically correct things because I'm just not that guy. I accept who I am. So I know this, though. I could go into the rehab centers and be a counselor. And if I could save one person and like before he's 43, which I just said, hey, before he's 43, and get him to stop drugs 10 years earlier, 2 years earlier, 3 years old, it was worth it. And on a professional level, as far as wrestling goes, man, I'm really good. Like, I haven't taken care of myself in probably 2 or 3 years. And I mean, you was there for some of my last matches. I was on fire. So me now being in a, and people don't understand this, addiction's more than physical, especially with wrestling, because people forget, like you do have wrestlers who are in better physical shape than me, but it's up here. And I have so much to teach because I had a great mentor, bro. Like I said, me and Chris Black and Sean Black have broken up more times than me and my ex-wife did, man. But, bro, like Chris Black taught me so, and Pharaoh Funk taught me so much about the mental part of the game that it would be a travesty to the wrestling business if I didn't share it. Now, Sean taught me what it's like to go. I'll give Sean Black credit. He looks like a chunky little boy. That dude can go when he wants to go, okay? Because I challenged him one time to go, and he went. I'm about 30 seconds into it. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm tired already. So, I mean, he could go. You know, me and Chris Black, funniest story ever. I get this idea because, of course, I'm loaded. Hey, Chris, let's do an Iron Man match because I was watching all Ric Flair's old Iron Man matches. So I was like, I could be Ric Flair. About 32 minutes into it, I'm literally under the ring puking, going, ugh. And about 46 minutes, I'm just like, brother, take it home. You know, so I mean, dude, but it's the fact that what, and this is totally going to be off subject, but what people don't understand about this Wednesday Night War is that there is no winner. The only winner is the fans. Because you have two of the best products, in my opinion, with NXT, because I'm a big undisputed era fan. Adam Cole, baby, always, bro.
Adam Cole, baby, or I don't know how
I
he.
am an AEW fan. No matter how much my friends think it, I'm outcasted for it. I do like some of the stuff they do. I mean, I'm sorry, Orange Cassidy's
Yeah, I
funny.
love Orange Cassidy. I love him.
I get it. Other people don't. That's cool because this is what I was getting to. It's an opinion. None of us are right. If you like the technical brilliance of a Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe match from Ring of Honor, or the pure idiocy, whatever, of the finger poke of doom, or Sean and Hunter doing the ring. Yeah, dude, I did that actually. If you go look, I always said I was gonna pull it off, and I actually did finger poke of doom at FTW. It was awesome. It's an opinion. So whether you liked me as a person or the wrestling character, I don't care because it's an opinion. You know what? Me and Chris Black at work one time were like brothers, and he hates CM Punk. I think CM Punk is the Shawn Michaels of his generation.
I agree.
He's not right. I'm not right. It's my personal opinion. Just like a
Yeah.
lot of people, Moxley. I love John Moxley. I didn't like Dean Ambrose so much, but I love John Moxley. And I think, in my opinion, that's what's wrong with wrestling right now. You lose that. WWE is so contrived. Like Nash said, it should be Monday Night Contrived. Because everything is so, this is the script, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That, dude, I don't know if any of them guys can do what we do in Pensacola or New Orleans, wherever. We don't have a script. We just go out there. And you know what? That's what's lost in wrestling. That ability to get over every night. You think about it. They're in NXT. They're trained how to be wrestlers. They're taught what to say WWE's way. They're in this they're like a big
Bubble.
fish in an aquarium. And that's all they know is the safety of that aquarium. Then when they go to WWE and they got to, all of a sudden they got 20,000 people and they're no longer that big fish in that little aquarium. 80% of them don't make it. That's because they didn't have to do it. Me, Chris Black, Crisis, Sean, Feral Funk, Hannibal, Mustang, Mike, Tiny. We had to go out there and figure it out on the whim. We didn't have somebody, telling us how to do this. And to me, that's the beauty of independent wrestling. Because, if I don't go to that show, I don't meet you, Chris. Me and you don't develop our personal relationship that we have. I don't meet your sister. I don't meet your family. And then, a lot of my lost days, I wasn't lost. And I don't want to use the hot word high, but, I wasn't lost on those days. And there was but every time you or your family would come or your friends, and they would come ask for that autograph or sit up here and say, hey, that's the beauty of indies.
Yep.
That's you don't have a guardrail or 20,000 people. I have you. I have the fans, and better yet, pro wrestling slowly dying. I hate to say it. The ratings are getting lower.
Because not just COVID, but just it's not evolving.
Period. It's like this. It's almost like, just imagine if college football was still played, or the NFL was still played like it was even when I grew up, when you handed the ball off 20 times. And a good quarterback was Jim McMahon or somebody who did enough to win the game, but never really was a great quarterback. But now look at the game. You got Tom Brady, who I hate, by the way. I can't wait for our New Orleans Saints to beat the hell out of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Cam Newton, baby.
Yeah, you got Brady, baby. We got Drew Brees.
Cam Newton.
But the game evolved, and wrestling has not yet. I actually, in my personal opinion, it's only mine, I think we need to go back to this forward. We need that. I think it's so bad that I can hit you in the head with a steel chair, and you got to come on national TV and go, I'm going to kick your butt. Man, if I punched you in real life, you were a good Christian guy, Chris, you would say, I'm going to kick your ass. You can't even say that. I mean, we have to go back to the realism of pro wrestling. Because one thing you can say about ECW, they might not have the best athletes, but anytime you turn on the show, you didn't know what was real or what was face. You didn't know what was a part of the script and what wasn't. You know, and that's just my rant about professional wrestling. So if you vote me president of professional wrestling, I promise I'll build the wall up, and we will not let WWE in.
Exactly. You mentioned back to Chris Black. I remember back in March of last year 2019. March, that was when Road Dogg was there. That was the first month I got back into going to wrestling as a fan on a regular basis, because before that I used to go to wrestling all the time with my dad.
I don't know what happened. I think I got kicked out, dude.
Huh? It might be on my end. Hey, don't leave it. It might be on my end. I'm gonna leave and come back. There we go. Maybe my Ethernet cord ain't working after all. Yeah, technical difficulties, guys. We'll fix this in just a second. I'm working on getting better equipment for this, so yeah. Technical difficulties, we're good.
I got kicked out, yeah, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's technical. I'm working on getting better equipment for this. In the meantime, this will just have to do. But no, yeah, what I was saying is, back in March of last year, that was my first show going back as a fan on a regular basis. I used to go to APW and other shows on a regular basis with my dad and brother, but when they passed away, that kind of went by the wayside for me. And then my friend Byron, James, and Wayne, we became basically that entity of like me, my brother, and my dad. Me, Byron, Wayne, and James. We kind of I don't want to say fill the void, but we what's the word I'm looking for? It's not fill the void, but we kind of kept the tradition going, I guess you can say. He'll be right back, guys. We're having technical difficulties. There you go. I see you now, bro.
Am I better?
Yeah, you're a lot better.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, you're good, bro.
I'm having technical difficulties out here, but look, I know it's been almost an hour, and I gotta go because unfortunately, I gotta go cook, and I gotta go be a normal person. All I just want to do is thank you for having me on the podcast, bro.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
You know I'm gonna make a return to pro wrestling. I just can't tell you when it is, so you might want to show up at every show y'all might attend. I may show up. I'd like to thank everybody out there who supported my wrestling career, you, your family. I'd like to thank some of my friends out there if I can. Shout out to my boy Jesse, to my boy George, Wolfpack. Y'all be good, man. I'll see y'all very soon. Hopefully, Chris, if you get a good response from this, I'll come back on. And if you have anybody who's struggling with addiction right now, who tell them to reach out to you if they need help. If I can help them find somewhere, just
definitely
keep doing that right thing, bro. And just remember, the only podcast to watch is that guy Chris at 252. You know why? Because I'm on it. And my name's Ashton Spears. And that's all I got to say about that.
Peace. Love you, bro. Peace. And guys, that was Ashton Spears. I'm just so grateful he hopped on, told us about his story from inside the ring, beyond the ring, his story of redemption, and his story of coming back from battling demons. And like he said, if you need any help from facing your demons, come to him, come to me, and we'll help you best way we can and point you in the right direction. Ashton, just want to thank you for coming on again, and thank you for telling your story and being a light for the dark in this world. And hopefully, we'll get to see you soon. I'm rooting for you on your comeback, and I know you'll have a great success story and redemption. This has been an awesome podcast, and thank you guys so much. Peace. I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel. Have a good night, and see you guys later.